Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the kickoff meeting for MiCareerQuest 2024. We're so glad that you took some time today to join us and learn more about the event. If you wouldn't mind typing your name, organization, and industry in the chat as an introduction, we would really appreciate that. So I'm Susan Ward. I am the Youth Services Director for Michigan Works, and I'm joined today by Cheryl Martin. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, thank you for joining us. I'm Cheryl Martin, and I'm a youth career advisor for Northwest Michigan Works.
So Cheryl is joining me today. For those of you that don't know, my husband and I are expecting our first baby in February. We're very excited. But that also means that I'm going to be out of the office for a couple of months. So in the interim, Cheryl is going to be leading the MiCareerQuest event. So we'll make sure that you get her contact information today. But I wanted to make sure that you got to meet her. So, and I see that we've still got a few people coming in. So again, as you're coming in, welcome. Thank you for being here today. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself in the chat with your name, organization, and industry, we would greatly appreciate that. This is being recorded. So if somebody comes in late or isn't able to attend, or there's somebody else in your organization that would like information, we will be posting this recording to our website later on. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So we've got a Zoom poll to get us started here. All right, so hopefully that launched for you. But we'd love to know, what does a successful MiCareerQuest event look like for your school, business, or organization? So for those of you that have participated, we'd love to have your feedback. If this is your first time, we'd love to know what your goals are for the event and what you hope to get out of it, and how you'd like to participate. So we'll give you about a minute here to respond if you so choose. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. So if you go ahead and wrap that up. And I'm going to share the results. Okay. So it looks like engagement and enthusiasm. Yes, we're certainly going to have lots of that at the event. For those of you that have participated in the past, you know that students are very excited to get their hands dirty, sometimes literally, and learn about careers, being organized, participation and engagement, connection with the students, lots of participation. That's great. First timer would like to know more about the needs in our region, interaction with students, engagement. Students that are engaged. So that's really good feedback for us. Let me get back to the presentation here. So we do appreciate your feedback, and certainly there will be a lot of engagement and participation in the event. And for those of you that are new, or those of you that are returning, all of the pictures that we do have in this presentation are from previous events. So none of these are stock photos. So this was actually from our 2019 event. So this was from the Crow's Nest. So you can see all of the students moving throughout the exhibits inside. So I want to go into a little bit about why we have MiCareerQuest. So why do we take the time away from our businesses and our schools and our day-to-day work to have this event? It's a fact that almost 38 million employees will retire in the next decade. But there's only 21 million workers to replace them. So there's only 21 million incoming workers. So that's not a very positive statistic. However, there are things that we can do. And My Career Quest is one of those events that we can use to encourage the incoming workforce, our students, to stay here in Northwest Michigan. So what are we doing to make sure that students in our area know about high wage, high demand careers? So the industries like advanced manufacturing, construction, healthcare, ag, IT, hospitality, human services, and more. So how do we encourage our youth, our students to live, work, and play in Northwest Michigan? So My Career Quest isn't the only answer, but it's part of a continuum. It's part of a strategy that we're using to make sure that students are aware of the career opportunities here so that we can keep as many of those students as we can here in Northwest Michigan. So I want to play the 2023 event video for you. Some of you may have watched it, but I think, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and it gives a really good visual representation of what the event looks like. We're at the My Career Quest 2023 Northwest event today. So this is an event for 9th grade students all over the 10 counties of Northwest Michigan, and they are here to learn hands-on about the careers available to them right here in Northwest Michigan. We have a little over 2,000 students here today. We've got 50 exhibitors, 60 exhibits, because some of our exhibitors are actually bringing multiple exhibits here today, and we have about 50 volunteers. We have hospitality, we have IT, we have agriculture, manufacturing, construction, human services, and even more. So all the high-wage, high-demand industries here in Northwest Michigan. This is not a job fair. Nobody's doing any hiring today. So all of these exhibits are hands-on, interactive, a day in the life of a career here in Northwest Michigan. We have 9th grade students here today because since they've entered high school, they're starting to think about what they want to do next, what they want to do after high school, but they haven't formed any plans yet. So this is really an event to plant the seed, get them exposed to the careers available to them.
This is a great day for career exploration, and that's one of the main things of the MySTEM network, is to make sure we have a STEM literate workforce. And what better way to do that than to help host a day where the kids get to see what's available in our community. They may know that there's a nurse or there might be a welder, but they may not know that there are other jobs out there like policy and healthcare, or what it takes to actually get all the nurses scheduled and managed, and making sure that you're all on staff and everything that's available. And so today's a day where the kids get to actually hear and experience some of those different careers than what they would normally be exposed to.
And try to get kids out, trying to think about energy as they think about career pathways or technical skill sets. We also have solar, we also have wind, we also have nuclear, we also have electric. So sky's the limit, and we wanted to help the kids to kind of open up, their thinking, their forward thinking, and their career path, and explore the utility world.
Well, we're promoting the industry, right? Not only construction, but industry from northern Michigan, trying to instill in these kids, these high school students, about the importance and the other options they have aside from college, in some cases, for construction and other industries. Construction's good. The need is pretty heavy, both plumbing, pipe fitting, HVACR, but all construction trades really. And it doesn't look to be slowing down.
The My Career Quest event is a wonderful event. It gives kids a chance to learn about construction as a career. There's lots of other trades here, but we're in the construction industry. We're a little biased. We think running equipment is the best thing since sliced bread, and we like to show that to the kids. There's a huge demand in our sector. Baby boomers all across the state are retiring. They're taking those skills with them. There's a great growth opportunity for individuals coming up into the industry to learn the skill, to not have to do a 4-year degree and incur debt, so they can earn while they learn their trade.
This event is more important than ever. We all know there's a talent shortage and employers are competing for talent. So this event is showing students that they don't have to go elsewhere to find a good career. They can stay right here in Northwest Michigan to find a family-sustaining career. All right. So hopefully that gave you a little better overview of what the event entails. Again, you saw that engagement. Hopefully you saw the students, diving in, getting their hands dirty. And I bet you never thought you'd saw a ninth grader operating an excavator, but that happens. Or a ninth grader performing mock surgery. But that's really what the event is all about, is helping the students to understand a day in the life of a certain career. All right. So some logistics about the event. We want you to mark your calendars if you haven't already done so. The date for the 2024 event will be Thursday, May 9th. It will be at the Grand Traverse County Civic Center. We'll have about 2,000 ninth grade students. Because the event is so popular, we do have to cap it at 2,000 students because of capacity restrictions. So we do have I think I have a slide further on, but we have 2 sessions. We have an AM and a PM session. So we have about 1,000 students in the morning and 1,000 ninth grade students in the afternoon. These cover 8 counties of Northwest Michigan. So all of those counties, Charlevoix and Emmett counties, they actually have their own MiCareerQuest event. So if you're a business from that area and you'd like more information about that event, I'd be happy to provide it to you. We have about 50 exhibitors on average, and we do need 50 plus volunteers to make this event run smoothly. As you can imagine, it's a very large scale event and many hands make light work. So volunteers are always needed to make the event a success. So as I mentioned, there are 2 sessions where students come through the event. Our morning session will be 9:30 to 11. There will be a break for our exhibitors and our volunteers, and that will be when lunch is provided for those individuals. And then our afternoon session will be 12:30 to 2 p.m. So students have 45 minutes in each sector. So the way we have the event set up, we have it broken into 2 sectors. We have our construction, ag, and manufacturing employers on the north end of the Civic Center. So students have 45 minutes. They can visit whatever booth they would like. That is how the event is designed. We do not require students to visit a certain number of booths or anything like that. They simply get to explore what they're interested in. And then there'll be some music played at the 45-minute mark, the halfway mark, and then students will switch and move to the IT, healthcare, hospitality, and human services area. So employers that fit into those industries are on the south end of the Civic Center. There's also an outdoor area that feeds into the construction, manufacturing, and ag. So employers that are outside typically will have large vehicles or, equipment that is not conducive to being inside a building. So students can move back and forth between the indoor and outdoor exhibits. So 45 plus 45 is an hour and a half, and then students leave the venue. And they always leave wanting more, which is a good thing. We always see in our surveys that the time is too short. I don't have enough time, which is actually a good thing because that leaves students wanting more, which again, this is one piece of the puzzle to making sure that students stay, live, work, and play in Northwest Michigan. So we want this to be one piece of that puzzle. So who puts this on? Who coordinates all this and organizes all of it? We do have a steering committee that drives our event. That is very critical. So our steering committee is made up of employers, volunteers, and schools that help us make decisions about the event. So it's a success. So as I said, planning and decision making. They also assist us with recruiting exhibitors, volunteers, and sponsors, and they are overall event promoters. So if you are interested in being part of our steering committee, we only have about 4 meetings a year, but if that is something you're interested in, is helping to be a decision maker for the event and provide feedback and input, you can either let myself or Cheryl know, and we would be happy to add you to our steering committee. Save the date. So if you're looking for marketing materials or more information about the event, everything you ever need to know about the event is on our website. So our videos, our sponsors, our marketing materials you can download from our website. And the link is nwm.org/MICQNW. It was also on the kickoff meeting email and the registration email that I sent out earlier today. And Shelley, if you wouldn't mind just posting that in the chat, that would be great. So we invite you to invite your network and share this out with any schools or employers that would be interested in participating or potential volunteers. So enough from me. I would love for you to hear from some of our participants in the event. So we have 3 wonderful individuals who have volunteered to share about their experiences in the event and how it has impacted their business. So David Van Slimbrock, he is from North Arrow ABA Services. David, are you on the call? I don't see him. He might have had something come up. I know he works in HR and things always come up, don't they? But I do see Eric on the call. Eric Lingvar is from Beta. Eric, would you be willing to share about your experiences with the event and why someone should participate?
Sure. First of all, you guys do a fantastic job coordinating this and wrangling, 2,000 freshmen all into, a tight, compact day, and they get a great experience out of it. So it's a fantastic activity. So Beta's been involved on the peripheral as a sponsor. We've helped move vendors and people and students to and from the activity. And last year was our first year that we actually exhibited at the event, and it was a fantastic experience. Public transit doesn't really fit into one of those buckets succinctly, which, was I was a little like, okay, where does transit fit? But it was perfect because, it gives a chance for students to have exposure to a whole variety of careers. And one of them is one in transit as well, because at Beta, we've got multiple different career paths. Not only do we have our drivers, which are our main kind of backbone, but we've got HR, we've got accounting, we've got IT, we've got advertising, sales, we've got marketing and communications. We have a little bit of everything. And so it was a great chance to not only show, what it's like to be in the trenches with driving a bus, but also we have mechanics and kind of getting familiar with how the bus operates. We even set up so one of the main things that I think is really important is engaging the students, especially when it comes to the industry or your organization that you represent. And so we set up a little closed course with some mini RC buses and had students kind of get their Beta driver's license and drive a bus around a little closed RC bus car, radio controlled bus track. And that was a lot of fun. We had a line like 5 or 6 students deep who wanted to take turns kind of racing the bus around the track and just getting a flavor for what transit is and how it's an essential service for the community. So I highly recommend it. It's a great activity. We had great weather last year, which was also made it a bonus. And it's just a really good experience.
I have to ask, Eric, were there any students that you wouldn't hire as bus drivers after that activity?
A couple of the buses did get into some accidents, but I think it was more course design than it was the drivers themselves. So, yeah.
And these are 14-year-old. They've got some.
They are. Yep.
Yep. Thank you, Eric. We really appreciate your insight. And I did see that Joe Dieter was on the call from Munson. Joe, would you mind coming off mute, sharing your experience and why someone should participate?
Wow, put me on the spot.
You volunteered.
I think this is a good opportunity for employers to get, especially lesser known jobs out there to a mass, and get a seed planted in the kids' head, for something different to look to. That also goes for the better known jobs too, but they may not realize that there's opportunity for those jobs in our local area, where they may not have to go downstate or out of state to go and do that job. There's a lot of small businesses in our region that people don't know about that are here. And it's a great opportunity to advertise that to a lot of students in a short bit of time. So, and it's an enjoyable day. It's fun. It really is. So,
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate
Yep.
it. All right. So next steps, always want to leave with some action steps. So hopefully, if you didn't receive the email from me today about registration opening, now you know. Registration is now open for MiCareerQuest, and that's for employers, volunteers in schools. So thank you, Shelley, for posting that in chat. You can go right to our website today. You can go right after this meeting if you want to, and we encourage you to do that and register for the event. And registration will stay open until March 7th, end of day. For those of you that are new, we do provide training and resources for you. So there is an orientation for schools, exhibitors, and volunteers that will also be on Zoom. For our exhibitors, we also, there's an optional training for how to create an engaging exhibit. So if you're on this call, you're a business and you're like, but I don't know how to make, it engaging for 9th grade. We will provide a training for that about how to turn, the daily parts of your job into an engaging activity for students. And you can register for those training opportunities on the registration sheet. And again, we'd really appreciate if you spread the word via your networks. The more the merrier, the more variety of careers that are available, the better for our students. And again, our marketing materials are available on our website. So for any questions, again, my tentative last day of work is February 9th. So I still will be around for about a month, but the reins are being handed over to Cheryl.
Thank you.
So Cheryl's going to do an excellent job. She's very detail oriented and she's planned events before. And as you know, we have a very strong steering and operations committee that does excellent work. So Cheryl's going to do an excellent job. So
Thank you.
Yes. So here is her contact information for you if you have any questions. Is there anything else you wanted to mention?
Thank you all for your time and involvement. And thank you to all of my steering committee and all of everyone who supports and puts this event on. I'm really excited about it and look forward to bringing nice weather for the event as well.
75 and sunny. Yes. Yeah, we did have great weather last year. I won't say what the weather was the year before last. It might have been 92 degrees, but that won't happen again. I mean, that was just a fluke. So again, thank you. We've already received some registrations since this morning. So if you've already registered, we appreciate your support. But I would like to open it up. I can't believe I didn't put a slide for that, but we'd like to open it up now for any questions that you may have. You can type them. I'll pull the chat up here. You can type them in the chat or feel free to come off mute. And
we did have a few, Susan. One, if you want to just go over a little bit about how we ended up targeting 9th graders.
That's a great question. We get asked that every year. There is a method to the madness. I would say the main reason is there's the least amount of testing in 9th grade. As you know, there's a lot of testing that goes on in schools. 9th grade is the least tested year. So we have the highest likelihood of having the most students at the event. We also targeted 9th grade because they've moved into high school. So they're starting to think about what they want to do next, but they haven't probably formed any concrete plans. So they're still open to trying new things. With juniors and seniors, a lot of them have made up their mind, and so they're not as willing to try new things. Whereas ninth graders have, I won't say they're mature, but they do have more maturity than a middle schooler in that they are starting to think about next steps, but they're still open-minded enough to say, yeah, I'll try a mini excavator. Yeah, I'll try a preschool teacher station. They still have that willingness to do that.
Thanks. There also were, well, there's a few more questions. I did share in the chat the information for the Northeast one and Charms too. So if people wanted more on that, otherwise they can reach out to you and Cheryl. Then there are a couple more questions about pamphlets and career information, which I'm going to just throw out there are two different things, but I'll let you take that.
Okay. Pamphlets, are you referring like marketing?
Company pamphlets, I believe, but career information might be a different thing. So maybe you can just address both of those.
Yeah, that's another good question. So these are ninth grade students. It's not a hiring event. Nobody's going to walk away from the day with an employee. The intent of the event is to provide exposure to the industries available in Northwest Michigan, and not necessarily to target businesses directly. We understand that it's a huge commitment for you to step away from your business for an entire day. So if you want to bring your tablecloth that has your logo on it, and certainly, I know a lot of your equipment is logoed, but we really would ask that you would refrain from bringing like flyers and pamphlets and job applications, because again, that's not the intent of the event. We really want you to bring things that are going to be hands-on and engaging for students. And I can tell you that the most well-attended exhibits, the ones with the lines, they don't have any paper. There's no pamphlets, there's no marketing materials. They have something that the students can do. We had an exhibitor bring a welding unit, and there was a line, 10 students long. There was no paper, there's no marketing materials. There was something to do. And that's what students want. They want something to do and be hands-on. As far as career information, if you have information about, how many job openings there are going to be in the next 10 years, or labor market information relating to your industry, you can certainly bring that. That's definitely relevant and pertinent for students and for parents to know what the likelihood and how many more jobs are going to be available, when they do start entering the job market. But as far as marketing and promotional materials, I would probably leave those at your business and just plan to bring something hands-on and engaging, because that's what students are coming for. That's what they're going to be interested in.
I do want to add on the career stuff. We do send out some pre-lessons and post-lessons. Not all of the schools do that, but some of them do. So we will link to your company and highlight the careers that you put in the registration. So if you also do have some additional information that you want to share ahead of time, feel free to put that in there, but don't assume everyone's going to see it, would probably be the best way I would say that.
Thank you for sharing that, Shelley. What she didn't say is Shelley puts those lessons together and she does a fantastic job. So we certainly want to highlight your business and the commitment you're making to the event. And we want to prepare students as much as we can before the event.
Next question is there a cost for exhibitors?
There is not. It is free for exhibitors to participate. It will ask you in the registration if you do want to sponsor, but you can select no sponsorship. That's okay. Educational entities, if you're a post-secondary institution, we do ask that you sponsor because this is an employer-driven event. However, with the sponsorship, our educational entities are able to have multiple booths, and they are able to bring materials related to how to enroll in your institution, which is something that, as I just said, we discourage exhibitors from bringing those materials. So even though there is a cost, you do get a little bang for your buck as an educational institution participating in MiCareerQuest, but there is no cost for employers.
There was also a question about sponsorship, which I believe additional information is in registration.
It is. So when you register, you will see our sponsorship form. Again, you don't have to sponsor. We just want to put that in front of you in case you do. If you would like a PDF copy of the sponsorship document, you can either email Cheryl or myself, and we would be happy to send that to you. But there is a copy in the registration information.
And then also someone asked about industries that haven't been as involved that we would like to target.
There are so many good questions today.
I know.
In the past, we have not had as much representation as we would like from IT and agriculture. With that being said, it's a hard time of year for ag, but we have had at least one or two ag employers participate, but there's certainly opportunity for more. Our construction and manufacturing industries represent every year. There's at least 15 or 16 employers that come, so we want to keep that going. But our IT and ag, we certainly have room for more and human services as well. Certainly have room for more in those industries.
And then also, if you want to touch on how we advertise or how we recruit the students, if you want to kind of touch on that. But yeah, you did say that we did have to put a cap on it, but
yes. So we basically at this point we have all of the email address, contact information from the schools captured. This is our fourth or fifth. We started in 2019, so this is our fourth year doing the event. So we do send an email to all the schools. We also include our ISD partners so that they can make sure they share it out with the local schools. So that's how we recruit the schools to participate.
And then I think that pretty much covers it. So unless somebody else has another question, but I think that's everything in here.
Any other questions?
It's just a lot of fun and the kids really like it. The counselors love it. Teachers that come love it. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, it's a really enjoyable day. I can tell you that, everybody walks away with a renewed interest in their career and what they do. Like, oh yeah, what I get to do is cool, because they've seen it through the eyes of a student. And like I said, this is a seed planning event. This is a first step. So talent tours, job shadows, work experiences, this is just the first step in getting a student interested in a career. In the past, what we have done, we've asked students to indicate if they'd be interested in learning more about a certain employer or a certain industry, and then we've been able to pass that information along to the counselor to make those connections with the businesses that are at MiCareerQuest. All right. Well, again, thank you everybody for joining. We did record this, so if you joined late and you missed part of it, we will be posting this to our website so you can watch the entire video at length. But again, pretty much everything you would need to know is on our website. But if you do have any questions, you can contact, I'm going to say you can contact Cheryl. Like I said, I'll be around for another month, but she's going to be your main point of contact for the event this year. So thanks everybody again. We're looking forward to a great event in 2024. See y'all in May. Bye.